No, but seriously. Welcome back to
No, but seriously, the podcast that keeps it honest, keeps it real, but not too serious.
I'm Anna.
And I'm Jamika. We
Welcome
are back. Yeah, for part 2 of the weight loss talk. I think part 1 did pretty well. So yeah, there's a few things that we want to talk about, and maybe some more things from part 1 to like continue talking about. One of the questions I did get after part 1 was what keeps me motivated. And I don't really know how to answer that because motivation changes. Like some days I'm not motivated. So I will say maybe what's helped me is staying consistent, like having a schedule. Like I know on Mondays I go to the gym, on Tuesday, like having a schedule of what I do. So sticking to a routine more than like staying motivated, because motivation is fleeting for me. And I think for everybody, motivation is fleeting. Some days I don't want to get up and work out or go to the gym or eat right or go to work for that matter. Like some days we just don't, like we aren't motivated, and that's okay. So that's what I do. I just try to stick to a routine, a schedule, or at least that's what I've done this past year. And that's really helped me. So yeah, I don't know.
I'm like, I don't know either.
You don't know what keeps you motivated? Yeah, I mean, you're on a fitness journey.
What's helped me a lot was yes, a routine. But honestly, for me, and it's gonna sound super like superficial of me, I don't know, or what, I don't know if that's the word. Like when you start seeing results, like I'm just being very real. Like when you start seeing results, it gives you your own motivation to go. So routine, I'm seeing the results. I'm seeing, like the work that I'm putting in is actually like work put in.
Yeah.
And then I used to beat myself up about not going to the gym every day, and it just wasn't helping either. So kind of letting my body know that like, okay, it's okay to rest, especially like on my period. I used to like really push myself to go during my, days that I was on my period, because I was like, I'm no weak, and, but I was like, no, I had to learn that that's a time for rest and let your body rest. And that's helped too, to actually like continue to go. And then right now my week is very different with working out. So that's helped to keep me motivated to continue to go. Because now I only go to the gym the most twice a week. And my third week is dance. And that's all I can do right now.
Yeah. I mean, schedule changes, routine changes. I think because you made me think about something, but what kept me motivated until I saw the results was my why. And we talked about it in part 2. Like I just did not want to die because I was fat. So that is what motivated me to like do all the things that I was supposed to do as far as eating and exercising and XYZ. So that's why I mean, I know I said this in part 1, but that's why I say your why really matters like so much, because it's going to be the reason you keep going.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. My why was my ex is gonna see me down the street and he gonna be like, damn. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, that was my wife for a while. Like, I'm like, no, I'm gonna be the hottest one out there, and you're gonna regret being the way you were towards me, and that's it. You know? I was like, it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, your why comes up so much. I mean, I've been experiencing a lot of body dysmorphia in this whole, pretty much this whole process, which is weird to me and very new. So it's a little hard to cope with, but I was in therapy this week, and we were talking about, you know, like how I would like look in the mirror so often and like kind of examine the parts of my body that I didn't like, mainly like my stomach. Sometimes my arms, not really, but it was like mainly my stomach and my legs. And I would be like, oh, I don't feel like I've lost anything, or I don't really feel like I'm smaller because those parts are still big. And I don't know what it was that she said, but in the visit, I was just like, it's not even important. Like, because like, I didn't do this to like look skinny or to like have a certain body. Like, I did this to be healthier, and that like, I've accomplished that, you know? So like that, like focusing on my why kind of helps with a lot of things. I know that doesn't cure, the body dysmorphia, because I definitely still struggle a lot. And I don't see what everybody else sees, you know, like, I mean, even when I post like, comparison videos of like who I was versus who I am now, or how I looked then versus how I look now, I'm just like, I shouldn't, you know, like the mental space that I go through before I even post it. I'm like, there's not a big difference. Why I'm finna post it? Like, it's literally not that big of a difference. Like, don't post this. And then I post it anyways. But like, I still think like people are just being nice. Like, it's not that big of a difference, you know? Like, and logically I know it is because the scale is drastically different. But like, my eyes don't see it, and that's craziness. Like, that is craziness, and it like, it's kind of unbelievable to me.
Well, I mean, I think of like, and not like comparing you to this group of people or vice versa, but I think of those who struggle with eating disorders, right? Like, and I'm not saying you have one.
No, that's interesting. We'll get there.
But it's like, you know, when they look in the mirror, they see somebody overweight sometimes, right? And they might be less than like 80 pounds, you know, but in the mirror, they don't look that. So that's and like,
I did
crazy.
Not understand it. I completely did not, even being a therapist, like, I did not understand that. I mean, I just did not understand it until now. Cause I'm like, it's almost like, you know how you like in those, like one of those funny mirrors where like your body looks all wide and stuff.
I like looking at my butt doing that.
But that's how, like, when I look down at my stomach, sometimes that's how it feels. Like, it's like looking in a funny mirror, like my body is like wider than it actually is. So I don't see it the same way people do. And they, even on the flip side, I didn't see it when I was bigger, the maybe the way other people did, or maybe the way I should have seen it. Because there was a picture or a video I think I looked at like a few weeks ago, and I was like, damn, nobody told me I was this fat.
Stop.
I'm serious. I'm like, nobody told me I was this big. Like, and that's why I'm like, on TikTok, that's why I mentioned like weight blindness to you, because on TikTok a lot of people have been saying that, and like, I don't think I realized how big I was. Like, I was like, oh, I could not believe. I'm like, nobody told me that I was this big. Like, you know,
would you have wanted somebody to tell you though? Like, would you have wanted to be like, hey, Jamika, like, we need to have a conversation, you know? Because like, I'm thinking of what is that TV show, like My 600 Pound Life or whatever, and like how people tell them like, hey, you need to go see a doctor. And then they become very like defensive, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, would you have wanted somebody to tell you?
I don't know. So I can't answer that for sure because I'm not there anymore.
Right.
But I think that it may have done something. Like if you like, I think, you know, intention and your approach definitely matters. I don't think you got to be like, dang, you big as hell. Like, you know.
So please don't do that, y'all.
But you could like, you know, say like, yeah, I've noticed like you gained a lot of weight. Like, is there something you want to do about it? Like, it's like, do you want me to help you? Like something, you know, like it was unhealthy. And that's what it was. When I look back at old pictures and videos of me, I don't think like I'm ugly or anything like that. I just think like, wow, it's really unhealthy. So I would have wanted the people around me to like that, you know, care about me and stuff like that to say something, you know. But I think people are afraid to, you know, like it's not an easy conversation to have. But I mean, not to compare it to this, but like the same way if your friend like had a drinking problem, I would assume you would say something.
Right.
So, you know, I think it's, you know, you can express some concern whether they want to do something about it or not. Now, whether I would have done something about it or not would have been completely up to me. But I think that would have opened my eyes to maybe more if other people said something like in a concerning way. But I think also like I was very confident. Like I've always been somewhat confident, and I think that's why nobody ever really brought it up. But yeah, I'm like, damn, nobody told me I was that big, and I didn't see it. I just did not see it. So that was.
You think, you know what I was thinking about the other day? Because I was saying Jamaica, like, there's weight blindness, there's blush blindness, there's eyebrow. TikTok be doing everything.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, is it maybe the confidence that's blinding us? Like, you know, like you feel good, but like, girl, those eyebrows are not it, you know? Like, but because of the confidence that you have, that you're like, you know, I could care less. And I'm thinking like, does that play a role in like, in some of that like blindness?
I think it's more about like not wanting to hurt people's feelings. You know, and like just like if you see a girl and her makeup's not good, like I'm not gonna say nothing because I don't want to hurt your feelings, but dang girl, you could have blended a little bit.
I mean, but I'm also like, what if like that's your friend though? Wouldn't you want to tell your friend, hey, like girl, like that's not your shade?
I think when they ask your opinion, like at least from my experience, when they ask your opinion, then it's definitely easier for me to be honest.
More receptive.
Yeah, because you asking me, so I'm gonna be honest. But when you not asking me, I guess I wasn't asking people like, am I too fat? You know, like so. I guess like the conversation would have never came up from my end. I guess. Because I was fine with it. At the point that I got not unfine, it's not even a word. The point that I got not okay with it was when it started to affect my health. And so, like up until that point, I was fine with, you know, who I was and how I looked and stuff like that. Did I want to lose a little bit? Yeah, but it wasn't, you know, nothing drastic. And so I think even on the flip side now, like I don't realize how small I am now. Like I said, when I look in the mirror, I still think I'm not as big as I was, obviously, but I still think I'm bigger than I actually am. So it's like, even when I go shopping for clothes and stuff now, like I'm always looking at the bigger sizes when I should be looking at the smaller ones now. So it's a very, very mental game.
Also, I hate the sizing though. Like it varies store from store. Like you can't like to shop. Like you have to shop, and like if you shop online with the mentality that you might have to return stuff, and then at the store, enough time to go try on stuff.
Yeah, it's actually wild because I have some pants that are like size 14 or 16, and then I have some that are a size 10.
Yeah, it's like
it's wild.
It's crazy, bro. Like today, I fit in a size I'm usually like a size, anything between like size 4 to 6. Like that's where my, depending on like, then I also found out high-waisted pants on me is a no. Found that out, okay? I had to do a lot of research.
I like high-waisted pants.
I hate them. I've learned to hate them. I found out I'm a regular waist type of body. Anyways, but like today, I was like in a size 2. I was like, ain't no way I'm in a size 2. Size 2 with like gap, like that little gap.
Oh, not the gap in the back.
Yeah, like I'm like, do I not like, you know? And you know, I found out also it was a low-rise jeans. I don't know if that played a role, but I was like, why is it loose up here, but like up in the front, like it's tight?
Yeah,
you know. So I'm like, I hate pants.
Like it's wild.
I hate it.
Clothing is wild. Like this that I have on now is a small. So it's like one, trying to figure out what size I am. I actually hate shopping for clothes.
Oh, I hate it too.
And one thing that I've always like been into for years and years and years is thrifting. And so now, like, I actually dislike thrifting.
And thrifting is just as even more expensive than clothes, bro.
Not if you thrift the right way. I'm probably a professional thrifter. So like, I know, like when you've been doing it so long, you know what to get and what not to get. You know when to go, all those things. But like I get overwhelmed in the store because I'm so used to going in and having maybe one row, maybe 2 if I'm lucky, of stuff to like clothes to look at. Now it's pretty much the whole store.
That's why I hated going thrifting, bro. Because I hate thrifting. I hate like big stores like Macy's and like you know Kohl's, because it's so overwhelming to me. Like I don't know if it's because of like my ADHD that like my mind's like and then I go into a store and it's even like just the same as my mind, that I'm like I can't.
Yeah, their stores are not organized, but that was also like the fun of it, like finding stuff in the mess. But like now I definitely get overwhelmed, and when I do go, I can't go as long, or I give up sooner than I used to. So it's clothes.
It's stressing you out while you're talking about it.
Literally thinking about it is stressing me out. And so then people say, shop online. Okay, I don't know what the hell my size is. So then I just blindly order a size, wait almost 2 weeks for it to come, and then try it on and it don't fit. So then I got to send it back and then reorder it again in a size that I hope fits. Like, so all of it is like overwhelming. And like these are problems I didn't have before. Like I had different problems then because there weren't a lot of options. So it's just, my life is completely different now in ways that I didn't even think about what clothes shopping would look like. I didn't even think about what shopping period would look like. So I didn't think that I would be like not obsessed. I've gotten a lot better at it now, but I didn't think that looking in the mirror and examining my body would be an issue.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Because you were talking about how like you look in the mirror and you're like, your eyes go straight to like what you don't like. Yeah. Right. And it reminded me of, this was like months ago. Yeah, right. Because we like in October already. This was like months ago. We had gone to a dance class. Mm-hmm. And by we, it's me and another person. And at the end of the dance class, she had us walk up to the mirror. She played a song. And she told us, look at specifically the body part that you like have trouble with. Mm-hmm. And she's like, and learn to love that body. Which I thought was great. Was it enforced correctly? No, because she played the whole song with 3 minutes of looking at like one specific body part was not it for me.
Yeah, at some point it's gonna turn critical. Yeah.
Right, and it became that. Right, like I wasn't even paying attention to the music anymore. Like I was just like, ooh, is that cellulite? You know, like then you start looking at more stuff.
Is that cellulite?
But like it reminded me of that. Like we have to do like more of that. Like yes, like I have a little fupa, but like there's times where I had to remind myself like the fupa is there intentionally, Anna, to protect like your organs, you know, so that I'm not so focused on like this fupa is sitting there.
I mean, and nobody cared about a fupa until freaking TV and social media made it a thing.
Right.
So they suck.
That's a different episode, though.
Us too. But yeah, I mean, one of the things my therapist told me was like, what about the rest of your body? And like my arms, I do feel pretty good about my arms because of the muscle definition that I have in them now that I didn't have before. So she was like, well, try focusing on your arms. And I mean, I have noticed that I haven't done it like the mirror thing in a while. But I think, I don't know if it's because I'm smaller now, but because my stomach has always been a problem for me. It's just more of a problem, I think, because of the loose skin that I have on it now. So, yeah, I mean, when you lose weight the way that I have, you are just, or when you lose a lot of weight in anybody, you're going to have loose skin. So I have a little bit on my arms. That doesn't really bother me because the muscles are kind of making up for that. Really bad on my inner thighs. And then it is really bad on my stomach and on my boobs. That's why I said like in part 1 I was like everything's a little bit saggier, and that's because of the loose skin. So I mean, it bothers me, but I would much rather deal with it than be where I was, because even with the loose skin I'm much healthier than I was without it. So yeah, but I mean, I'm officially 1 year now. In part 1 I wasn't, but officially now we made it 1 full year. And I'm trying to figure out like what's next. I mean, at this point I don't really want to lose any more weight. So I'm at the stage of like maintaining. But I am trying to figure out what's next. Because losing has been everything. Like the last year, like that's been my focus, is making sure I eat right, making sure I lose weight, you know, like making sure I follow this plan or whatever. And now that I'm here and I'm at the maintenance stage, I'm like, okay, what's next? So I do feel like I've gotten a little bit bored in the gym. So, and I told my trainer that, so like we are gonna lift a little heavier, because I've been thinking about that, like doing more heavy lifting for a while. I mean, I don't want to be a bodybuilder, but I do want to do more, and maybe I'll enter a competition or something. Maybe, we'll see. But I don't want to be a bodybuilder.
I don't want to be a bodybuilder, but I'm gonna enter a competition.
Yeah, I mean, like a little junior or something. Like a little beginner or something. But I won't like compete regularly. No.
Right.
But I think it could be like I just feel like I need something to be working towards, something, something different. And so now that losing weight is not what I'm working towards, like what else can I be working towards? So it's just finding different goals as I go through this to keep me motivated though too. So yeah, what else has happened in this journey? I've lost hair. Which was expected. I mean, they warn you that you're gonna have hair loss. So I've lost hair. It started to grow back, but it also wasn't like as drastic as I thought it was gonna be. So I mean, and it did, like, in the scheme of things, it's not that big of a deal. I do have to take vitamins for the rest of my life. which is, it is what it is. It's part of what you sign up for. So, it's not that big of a deal. I have to take one multivitamin, a day, and then some calcium vitamins every day. So
Is that
it's
for
not,
like your bones or?
yeah, it's not because my body doesn't absorb all the nutrients from the food that I eat.
Right.
So I have to supplement it with other things. So that's what else? Any cons from the surgery or any regrets? I mean, when I woke up from surgery, I'm not gonna lie. When I woke up, I was like, "Oh shit, what did I do?" Like, but then it went away quickly. But I did have that thought. I was like, "Oh shit, what did I
That's
do?"
my fear because
Yeah.
I've wanted to like get like my boobs done, but my fear is like I wake up and I'm like, oh, I regret it. Like,
Yeah. I did think about it, but it was literally a split second, and I have not regretted it since. It was honestly the best decision I could have ever done. I do wish that I had done it sooner. So that would be the only regret that I have, is that I hadn't done it sooner. But I think, things happen when they're supposed to. I mean, some of the cons is just my life is different. The way I eat food now is differently. The way I drink liquids is differently. The way I eat and drink liquids together is totally different. Um, you know, so that's a little bit of an adjustment, like not being able to have some of the things that I want to have. Not enjoying food. The way I wish I did. That kind of sucks. But again, on the grand scale of things, like these things are
they're like
nothing.
minor, yeah.
Yeah, in comparison to how it's changed my life. Um, I have thought about, like, do I miss like being bigger sometimes? And sometimes I do. Like, sometimes I do miss it because there are things that I think about now that I didn't think about, before. Like the over examining my body. Like, that's not something I did before. Um, like how, like the types of food I can eat, how I eat. Like, I didn't have to think about, so I do sometimes miss that, like, because this is very mental. In fact, it feels all mental. I mean, there are some physical things because of the changes in my body, but this whole process feels kind of all mental. Because there are, the things you have to think about and do now um, are hard. It's hard, and it's a lot. And sometimes I just be like, damn, I'm tired. Like, damn, I just want to eat a bowl of ice cream or something. Like, sometimes I just be like, damn, I just want to not do nothing for like weeks. But like, I can't do that. I mean, I can, but I can't. So it is a very mental struggle. Um, so, and I think that, the person that asked me what keeps me motivated knows that. So that's probably what they wanted, why they asked that. Because it is all mental. Um, and honestly, I don't know what's different this time than when I've tried it a bunch of times. I've tried to lose weight a bunch of times before. Um, Other than, I know I keep going back to this, other than my why is different now. So, like, than it was before. And so that's the only thing that I feel is different that's helped me keep going this time. Because you do get to a point where you're just like, fuck it. Fuck the gym. Fuck what I'm eating.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's when the, like, mental fortitude comes in. Damn, it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like little tricks and stuff that I use, like to make sure I don't overeat and stuff like that. I can't eat and drink at the same time, which is something to get used to. Um, but I also eat off like toddler plates. Um, for a while in the beginning, when most of the time that I would go out to eat, I would order like the food and ask for it to go plate too. So then I would put half of it away. Um, so those are like, I mean, there's little tricks and stuff that you use to kind of deal with it. Oh my gosh. Um, so I think that that's what's helped me keep the weight off too. My doctor, um, has asked me every time I go see her. She asks me like, what's helped me, what keeps the weight off, because she has patients who also had the surgery, um, and they don't lose or lose very minimal. And she's just trying to figure out what I've done that's worked that she could probably share with them. And honestly, like I could tell you like all the things like eating off plates and separating food when you go out and all that, but like you have to mentally like be in it. Like you have to get past like that the surgery is gonna do it for you. Like it's not. That's clear in that some people are successful and some people aren't. So like the surgery is not the fix. It's a tool. And you have to use the tool properly. You have to eat small portions. You have to avoid certain foods. You have to be strict on yourself. And like that was probably the biggest thing that helped me like early on, is like I was like doing everything that they recommended to a T. Because I was like, I'm not doing this again. So like I'm gonna use this as best as I can. So like, everything they told me to do, I'm gonna do it exactly how they told me to do it. And that's why I have been so successful. So yeah, I don't know if I have the answers for people who are struggling. Other than that, like, figure out why you're doing this. And like I said, it gotta be more than being skinny.
Right.
It's gotta have a deeper reason. And if you don't know it yet, then maybe you need to spend time figuring it out. I think also, I've been in therapy this whole time. That's helped me. So it's a bunch of tools and things that you have to use, and surgery was just one of them. My trainer has helped me. So, it also helps me that other people, have been, I don't want to say it helps. It does help me. It helps me that other people have been inspired by me. So that also motivates me to keep going, but it also like feels like pressure sometimes. To make sure I'm doing things right. So that is kind of win-lose for me. But I think it's helped more than it's pressured me. So if you've shared that I've motivated you or whatever, like just know that it's a benefit to me too, in this process. So, yeah, what are my doctors saying? So I had a few doctor's appointments this past week because I hit my 1 year. And they did say that, like I'm a success, basically. That's the overall, message, is that I'm a success. But if we look into maybe more of the critical things that they said or things that I could work on, was I should have, according to them and according to whatever comparison things they have, most people slow down in the last 6 months of their first year. And they said that I actually sped up in my weight loss, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But then I talked to my nutritionist, and she's concerned that I'm not eating enough. And then I talked to my women's health doctor, and she's concerned that I'm not eating enough either. Like my calorie intake is not high enough. And so I have to eat meals more often than I am eating. So I eat 3 times a day. But for somebody who, on average, I eat 3 times a day. Sometimes it's more. I mean, some days I eat more than that, but on average, I eat 3 times a day. And for somebody who has, who has to eat smaller meals, I need to do that more frequently.
Right. That's why I was like, because I mean, I eat every 4, but I'm like snacking like throughout.
And I don't. See, I don't really do snacks too much.
Because I'm eating all day.
Right. And so they did say, like, I could have, like I should add some healthier snacks, but I should have like meals more frequently too, with snacks. So that is something that I have to work on. And that is something I talked about. And I was like, a lot of people, see, I try to stay away from weight loss content on social media just because I don't want my life to be about my weight. Like, so like, I try to stay away from weight loss content. I try to be strategic about when I post my weight loss content because I just don't want that to be my life. But a lot of people do say that they get afraid to eat more because they are afraid they're going to gain weight back. And I didn't think that was me. I really didn't think that was me. But then I was talking to my therapist and it might be me. Like, maybe I am afraid. Like, I was afraid to eat too often. Like, I did tell my nutritionist that, like, I had thought about it, like that I need to eat more and stuff like that. But I was afraid to eat too often. Because I didn't want to be eating too much. Mm-hmm. And so, because eating too much means that I'm going to gain weight back. And so I guess the fear was that I'm going to gain the weight back. But they were just like, if you want to maintain the weight that you're at and not keep losing, then you have to eat more.
Right.
Otherwise, you're going to keep losing at the amount that I'm eating. So... and I can eat more than I did in the beginning, but I'm still not eating enough to maintain a weight. So it wasn't necessarily I'm not necessarily doing bad, but that was like one of the things that they said.
Like feedback.
Yeah, moving forward. But my therapist made me feel like I had an eating disorder. And maybe I do. Like, maybe like the beginning of one, if I don't like
switch it.
Yeah, correct this stuff. Maybe I do. I'm at the beginning stages of one. So that scared me too. I was like, oh, I don't want to have an eating disorder. When people put a label on something, you like, oh, no, don't say it. Like, even if it is that, don't say it. Like, when you say it, it changes everything.
It's like, it's just some of those stigma words too. Like, we were in class and I forgot what we were talking about. And then... I think we're talking about stress or something. I can't remember. And then the girl goes, oh, yeah, and, like, I'm bipolar. Like, super, like, nonchalant. Like, hey, yeah, I'm stressed, And I was like, what? Like,
yeah.
Took back because, the stigma around, like, being diagnosed with bipolar. And she was, like, around my age. So I was like, whoa, like, took aback, So I'm sure that, it was, somebody told me, like, hey, you kind of have early signs of, like... dementia or something. I'd be like, wait, like, what?
It is different when you put a name on it. But you have to, like, I don't know if, I knew that I need to make the change, but I don't know if I would be as serious if she hadn't said it.
Right.
Like, now I'm like, ooh, I don't want no parts in that. Like,
right.
Like, so I was like, okay, then we really gonna work on this, because, But it is. It is true. She didn't lie. It is true. I'm afraid to eat, because I'm afraid that I will regain weight.
Right.
And so, yeah. So my relationship with food is totally different. Like, I've never been afraid to eat. And it's not always. Some days I eat a lot better. Obviously on days that I work out, I eat a lot better and a lot more. And probably still not enough on those days. Like, the fact that I am working out and I'm going to be lifting heavier, I need to make sure I'm eating a proper amount of calories. So it's not necessarily what I'm eating that they're worried about. It's just making sure that the calories I'm eating is higher. Mm-hmm. So that was a little. I did tell my therapist I was a little discouraged because now I feel like instead of celebrating that I'm at a year, I'm pretty much at my weight loss goal. Instead of celebrating that, like my mind has quickly shifted to like, okay, how am I going to make sure I'm eating more? Mm-hmm. Like, what is my plan for, like, and so that was a little bit disappointing to me that, that the celebration quickly turned to that. But with that being said, I am still proud of where I am, where I am.
As you should.
Yeah. And I wouldn't have imagined, you have the surgery and you're like, oh, I hope I get there, but you never know if you are. Mm-hmm. And I'm here now. So
see? There you go.
I'm here now. So I know people like numbers. And I was going back and forth on if I was gonna like post it on my social media or not. And I kinda did on my story, but it's gonna go away. It was gonna go away in 24 hours. So whoever saw it, saw it. But I've lost 150 pounds since May of last year. And so my weight right now is 186. So you can do the math if you want to figure out where I was at. And I wanted to be, actually so I have a goal list on my phone, as my like lock screen. And so on there, it said I wanted to be between 170 and 180. Mm-hmm. But I think before I did that, I always wanted to be between 180 and 190. I just thought that my doctors wanted me to be a little bit lower. But they were happy with where I'm at now. And I'm happy with where I'm at now. I am, like looking forward to changing some of my composition in the gym. So that's the shift too. Is to change the composition of my body a little bit with that, but I am also looking into other stuff to deal with like the loose skin and stuff. So we will see how that goes, but I don't know how far that'll go, but we'll see. But yeah, so that's been the year. I don't know how much more we're gonna talk about this because, like I said, I don't want my life to be weight loss. I know a lot of people think I should, share more on social media and stuff like that. I just don't want my life to be talking about my weight,
or for that to be your personality.
Yeah, like I just don't. It was never my thing when I was bigger. I never talked about like how big I was or being happy that I was big. Like I just like it's just never been my thing, and I don't want it to be my thing. So I probably won't do that. I mean, I'll still post transformation stuff, but and I post like gym content, and I'll still do that. I'll still post gym content, but that's more about me being in the gym than it is about me losing weight. So if anything, I'll be a gym rat, and you can watch that on my social media. But as far as weight loss, this will probably be it. Unless y'all have more questions, maybe we'll answer more questions after this. Or if somebody wants me to talk more about something I said on here, I'll do a follow-up to this. But yeah, then we'll move on. I don't know.
I was like, where is she going with this?
Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with it, but just don't expect us to keep talking about my weight. Right. Is the point. But if you want, you want me to talk about something I said on here more, or you have questions about something in this episode, I'll definitely talk about that. But as far as like new content, probably not.
It makes sense.
Yeah, probably not. I never say never, but probably not. Unless somebody gonna pay me a lot of money. Unless somebody gonna pay me a lot of money to do it, I'll do that then. But yeah, so I think that's it. I don't have nothing else.
I didn't have the surgery, so neither do I. So.
Yeah. I mean, if anybody's had it, like, let us know. If you're okay with letting us know if anybody's had it.
Or if you've had it and had a different experience.
Yeah, that too.
And you want to talk about that.
Yeah, that
by
too.
all means, let us know.
Because I actually have not really talked to anybody who was on the other end where they didn't, they weren't as successful with the surgery. I have not talked to anybody like that. I actually really haven't talked to anybody that's had it. I mean, a few people at work I have, but they're they're new, fresh to it.
Just different.
Yeah. So, so it'd be interesting to talk to somebody about it. A lot, and somebody that's, a lot of people want advice and stuff like that. Want to know how I did it, or they're trying to, get to where I'm at, so, I'd be interested to talk to somebody who's, a year out too. Or closer to their year to see how their experience was.
Or what's been their highs and lows too.
Yeah. And I'm sure there's things that I missed. I mean, because a year is a long time. It's not a long time, but it is. So there's a lot that's happened in this year that I'm sure I did not mention, or that we summed up very quickly. But yeah, I'm excited for what's next. We'll see how dating goes. Oh, that's what I wanted to say about dating. Oh my gosh. No. I was like, cause people ask like if men treat me differently, and I talked about this in the first one that really is, in my experience, has been the women that's treating me differently. But I was like wondering if maybe I am treating men differently. Now that I'm smaller, I think that I might be going for different men, and so I'm struggling with this because I don't know if it's because I lost weight or if it's because of my last relationship that was so bad that made me shift
your type or something.
Yeah, because they both happened, I started to
around
lose
the
weight,
same time.
and that relationship ended around the same time. So I don't know what the cause is, but I have noticed that I think I do go for different men. And I think, I mean, somebody would probably say I was already strict, but I think I'm even more selective than I was before. And
it's not a bad thing.
Yeah. I was just wondering if it's because, is it me that's being different towards men? Or, no, scratch that. I am different towards men, but is it because I lost weight or is it because of my...
what is your, reasoning behind it? Yeah.
Yeah. But also, dating is, what it is.
I can't say no because I gotta say my mouth shut until certain things end. So maybe by the next episode
we can talk about dating.
We can talk about it the next episode.
Yeah,
I can't say nothing right now.
We gonna talk about it in the next episode. But I it could be related to my weight loss, so it's something I thought about because I knew we were gonna film this, so it is something that I thought about. But yeah, so we will see y'all in the next episode. Make sure you follow us on our social medias at MBS Pod on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
Yeah.
And then I will post a before and after on our social medias of me, so that people can see it there too. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about dating in the next one.
Yeah, maybe we'll have a guest too.
Sure.